How's it going, guys? Barrick here, Equity Podcast. What we're talking today, we actually kind of talked about this a while back, I believe, but I want to kind of take it into a different light. You have a friend, and they're always critiquing you. They are the critic. Why are you wearing those shoes? Why did you coach it like that? Why did you do that report like that? When you're at the gym, it's like, man, it's really cold. Why are you doing your wall balls like that? You're really not good at those pull-ups. How long do you think you're going to keep that friend around? Not too long. What we want to do is we want to kill that critic inside of ourselves as much as we can. We want to be a coach to ourselves. We want to be somebody who is not always looking on the bright side of things, but that are trying to coach you, right? Coaches aren't always sunshines and rainbows. They're going to tell you what you need to hear, but they're also supportive as well. They're not telling you what to hear in a negative way. Hey, you did really awesome on those wall balls. If you get a little bit more hip extension and really focus on jumping out of that wall ball, we can get a lot more out of those, and they'll save you in the long run, right? So if that's, just thinking about that wall ball example, you come in and every single time there's wall balls in a workout, you're like, man, I hate wall balls. What kind of state is that going to put you in for that workout? Not a good one. But instead, when you come into that workout and say, I'm going to try that new thing that, Coach Kelli told me for my wall balls and see if that really helps. And then it helps. And now we're in a better place. Oh, man, it's really cold out. I think I'm going to start with my sweatshirt on, and then as I warm up throughout the workout, I'll take it off because it is really cold today. Like, think about the mindset of those two different concepts. Like, man, it's really cold today. You're complaining versus, hey, I'm going to start with the sweatshirt on, make sure I'm nice and warm, and then I'll take it off as I warm up, right? It's like two different, you're going to feel much different between those two different phrasings of basically the same thing. And we want to take that into other areas. What we want to do is kill that critic, and we want to be a coach to ourselves in all areas, not just the gym. But that's obviously where we're going to focus a little bit. If we can practice this in the gym, we can start taking it to other areas of our life, right? Instead of blaming, instead of complaining, taking those situations and making them something positive. I'm not saying be an optimist necessarily, but like turn it into something that isn't going to just put you in a bad mood. Excuse me. If you're in traffic, instead of saying, I hate this fucking traffic, I get stuck in it every day. Like, just think about, that's not helpful. It's not helping you at all. It's not doing anything for you. Instead, and also you don't have control over it. Like, why let something you don't have control over get you in a negative state? Instead, think of something that we can do in that situation. I can catch up on that podcast that I want to listen to. I can listen to something else. I can just relax. Just try and cool down, decompress before I get home, before I get to the gym, wherever we're going. Just give me some time to just be with myself and think my thoughts, right? No matter what that situation is, it's not that we want to be a pessimist or an optimist. We just want to make sure that we're not putting ourselves in a negative state. But I think I talked about it last week. The thoughts that you constantly put in your head are going to affect what state you're in. If you're constantly thinking negative, you're going to be in a negative state. If you're constantly blaming and complaining, you're going to be in a negative state. So what can we do to start making those thoughts change? Right? The first one is awareness. We need to start being aware of what we're saying and how we're saying it. Then we want to be intentional on picking different phrases to say the same things. The awareness part is hard. Like, man, it's cold out. Like, just saying that, like, that's just something that's completely common, but what's that doing for us? But just being aware of it, I need to change that in the moment, or just notice it, and then we can reframe it afterwards. Intentionally change that wording, and then we're gonna take action on it. Like, actually do those things. Do it. There's what we're trying to do is, if we're in a better state overall, over a week, over a month, over a year, over years, how do you think we are going to feel? Is that going to make you a happier person if you're not always in a negative state? Probably. So what we want to do is, like, we got to start really small. Like, it sounds so, like, why does it even matter of blaming and complaining? But when we start with something like that, it's going to start transitioning to all parts of our life. And when we do it for just one time, and we start doing it over days, weeks, months, it can really start moving the needle. And we can start focusing on things that we can control and things that make us happy, instead of focusing on things that we can't control, that we blame and complain about, that just make us not happy. I hope this helps. Kill the critic in your head. Be the best coach you can be. And you're not going to be the best right off the bat. It's going to be something that takes time. You got to build on to it, right? I do these videos a lot of times just because it's something that I need to hear from me. So I hope this helps. Appreciate you. If this was helpful for you, share it with somebody. Liking and subscribing always, lets us doing a review, lets it get out there to other people. I hope it helps. I appreciate you guys. Cheers.